Hey guys, it's Yasmin here and welcome back to Savoring Greens. I'm so happy to have you here today. One of the most common questions that people ask health coaches is really, what is the best way for me to lose weight fast? This was certainly a concern of mine around 2 years ago after giving birth to my son, because throughout the pregnancy, I gained around 33 pounds. And what I did afterwards is that I worked on some sort of like exercise and dietary changes in order for me to lose the baby weight. I'm happy to say that 4 months after giving birth, I was able to go back to my pre-pregnancy weight. And now I'm able to maintain the weight and even weigh a little bit less. Like I think I'm around 4 pounds lighter than what I weighed before I even got pregnant. So that's actually good news. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the 3 most common diets for weight loss. So namely the ketogenic diet, you hear about the paleo diet, and also the carb cycling diet. And towards the end, I'm going to give you guys my suggestions and recommendations based on my own experience and my own journey towards weight loss and maintaining the weight, as well as the things that I've been learning from functional medicine or lifestyle medicine. So here it goes. So let's start with the ketogenic diet. The keto diet focuses on training our bodies to burn fat rather than carbohydrates. So as long as carbs or glucose exist, our body would always prefer to use that instead of fat for energy. So the key thing to remember here is that by limiting our intake of carbs significantly, our body goes into a state of ketosis where it learns how to burn fatty acids instead. So the keto diet is very specific in terms of the ratio of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates that we take in on a daily basis. Ideally, it should be 75% fats, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. So we should be very careful that we don't go beyond 50 grams of carbs per day in order to reach a state of ketosis. So you can imagine that by going on this type of diet, it can result in a dramatic weight loss. The paleo diet, on the other hand, recommends similar food that's found in the ketogenic diet, except it's not so particular in terms of the ratio of protein, carbs, and fats that you incorporate in the diet. How I see paleo is like it's a long-term food plan that focuses more on eating whole foods and quality meat while really limiting the intake of grains, sugar, dairy, gluten, and processed food. So it's important to note that the paleo diet is not a low carb diet. Like you can pretty much eat as much squash, sweet potato, and carrots as you want and still be following the paleo diet strictly. The carb cycling diet is different from the paleo and keto diet in that it restricts carbs on days when we are sedentary or less active, and it actually allows us to eat more carbs on days when we're working out or we're just more active in general. So how does this work? Brian Murray, a certified nutritionist and personal trainer, says that for bodybuilders and professional athletes, the carb cycling diet might look like eating a high carb, low fat diet for 1 day, followed by 3 days of eating a low carb, high fat diet. Now, for regular people like you and me, the carb cycling diet will sort of depend on the level of activity that we have on a daily basis. For days when we're hitting the gym or training for a race, we can then implement a high carb diet. And for days when we're just lounging on the couch or watching Netflix, we'll then have to implement a low carb diet.
Come on, TV, give me some of that sweet, sweet pep.
According to the carb cycling diet, it's very important that we eat more carbs on days when we're active because carbs will help boost our metabolic rate. It'll help replenish our liver and muscle glycogen, which will in turn help build muscle as well. Now, before you go on any of these diets, it's essential that you talk to your doctor or dietitians first because some of these diets can be bad for you.
These weird nutrition bars my mom uses to lose weight.
Give me it. It's all in like Swedish or something.
Yeah, there's some weird ingredient in them that's not legal in the US yet.
So for example, if you are suffering from type 1 diabetes, liver disease, or any type of eating disorder, going on a keto diet could be dangerous. It could either increase your risk of diabetes ketoacidosis, which happens when our body is not able to regulate the production of ketones properly, or it could tempt you to binge or eat compulsively. Now, my personal recommendation is that in order to achieve and maintain weight loss, it's very important to subscribe to a diet that you can pretty much maintain for life, because there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all diet. I mean, some people can do well with grains, some people can't. Some people can do well with coffee, some people just cannot. When I started my health journey, I was obsessed with counting calories. I pretty much ate everything that I wanted, like cakes, bagels, pizza, pasta, fries, you name it. But I always watched the quantity and I worked out to compensate for it. My diet drastically changed when I discovered functional medicine, where I learned that not all calories are created equal. You can say that my diet now is somewhere in the middle of the Mediterranean diet and the Paleo diet. I pretty much stick to whole foods, maximizing my intake of veggies and good fats while limiting processed sugar, deep fried food, dairy, and gluten, especially lactose, because I read in an article that 90% of Asians are not able to digest lactose properly. And as long as I stick to this plan, I can pretty much eat as much as I want. I mean it, as much as I want. And I feel great and I'm able to maintain my weight. So take the time to discover what type of diet works for you. See what combination of carbs, proteins, and fats would make you feel great while enabling you to lose weight. And then hopefully you can maintain this type of food plan. I'd like to call it food plan in terms of a diet. If you can maintain this type of food plan in the long haul so that you can maintain your optimal weight. That is all for now. Let me know in the comment section below which type of diet you feel will work for you in terms of helping you feel good and helping you lose weight. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you really, really soon.